over here in the upper left. He cheesed against Innovation. What will he do this game? We're going to find out soon. He is
Master Maru Prime.
And over here in the bottom right, perhaps the most conservative and orthodox Protoss there is, his ideas.
Grandmaster SK Telecom T1 Rain.
You know, it's funny that you say that, Tasteless. He is so conservative and orthodox
Totally
as far as
textbook
Protoss go,
Protoss,
that he's almost unorthodox in that way.
You know, what's funny, actually, is that, most Protoss players are known for having their own styles and being pretty
aggressive
or cheesy.
Mixing it up a lot.
It's oftentimes considered to be a race where you have to have a certain number of tricks up your sleeve. And, Rain is kind of antithetical to that school of thought with Protoss, where you really do have to... in his attitude, is like, no, there's a proper, safe way to play this, and I'm going to show you how.
Yeah.
We'll see how long he can stay on top with that. That's another question as well.
Well, I feel like when you get a Protoss like this, they're the ones that are probably staying on top the longest out of anybody because, it's not just like, well, people figured out how to deal with this type of aggressive play, so suddenly your builds are all bad. This is, if Rain's style ever becomes something that can't work, being a defensive macro-y player, then there's probably something very wrong with Protoss.
Yes, this is very true. So we do have Maru actually doing kind of what we talked about, being greedy early on, the opposite of what he did in the previous set that he had to play in. Now going for a command center here on the low ground. Now I can't emphasize how greedy that is because normally at the minimum you'll make that in your main in case there's some kind of cheese, but he's going all out right now.
Well, he doesn't believe that Rain has it in him to proxy a gateway.
Well, he's basically right. Rain's probably not going to do that.
No, he's probably not. Even if Maru does this every game, I doubt that Rain will proxy a gateway. But, this does cause him a little bit of lost mind time having chased that probe away. And he did get to see that at least a couple Raxes are coming up. So now Rain knows that he doesn't need detection early. We'll see if he changes his build around a little bit for this. There's a lot of cool stuff you can do when you realize your opponent isn't going to have stim quickly. They aren't going to have Widow Mines, things like that.
Yeah. So the probe, you just want to keep this alive for as long as humanly possible so we can try to catch, any bit of information that might tell him the direction in which Maru wants to take this game once his economy is up and running. First barracks now finishes, and it looks like the Cybernetics score is about to finish as well here.
Yeah, everything looking very good for both players, and the third Rax does come down. So, that's something that's become
we saw him
much
do
more
this
popular.
Was it him or was it somebody else we saw
it do this build? Bomber did this against
That's right,
Rain.
it was Bomber. Thank you.
It's actually become more and more popular lately. That was the first time I had seen it, but I've been seeing it pop up a lot more recently in Korea.
And but do you have in-game sound in your headset? I don't actually have it. Okay,
you know what? Yeah,
hopefully we'll get that fixed soon here. Because I was when I was like, it feels kind of weird. It feels kind of quiet.
It does.
I'm not used to this.
But hopefully production will get that fixed right away.
Yeah. So I don't even know if do we have sound effects right now?
I don't think so.
Either that or I don't hear anything. But yeah, anyways, the robotics facility is on the way here. And it looks like we're getting that fixed now, actually. Robotics facility is on the way. And again, this is all what we would expect here from Rain.
That's a strong scout right there.
Yeah, no kidding.
He will end up dying, but he sees that this is just 3 racks into a couple gases. Nothing too crazy. It's just kind of the standard what you would expect. And in fact, Rain immediately goes for that Robo. He doesn't care. Oh, wait a minute. He's going for Robo in a Sentry.
Okay.
After one Stalker.
Here's the 3 gates here from Rain.
Can't get much safer, Tasis.
No, you cannot.
But I
this
wonder...
This is StarCraft with condoms on. This is about as safe as you can get, Artosis.
Yeah.
This is very, very conservative play here from Rain, which is what he's known for.
Mm-hmm. And he's actually... Okay, he's grabbing a couple more gases. So there's 2 possibilities here. We could be seeing him go for an Immortal push, or he's probably going to grab a couple Forges and go Colossus.
Yeah, that is definitely a possibility as well. I would not... the Immortal push could be good. The only problem with that on this map is this this ramp that goes onto the high ground.
Yeah.
It actually makes that push a little bit trickier. Mm-hmm. Seconds really do count in an attack like that.
This is very true. And he actually throws up 1 Forge and the Colossus tech. And this is what we were actually talking about before, where Rain will take the kind of the more conservative end of everything. I promise you, most Protosses that you see at the pro level will actually take 2 forges right here.
Yeah, that's very
But
true.
Rain realizes that if he takes 1 forge and adds a second one a little bit later, then he's going to be even safer against anything that his opponent does.
This
So
is true. And we got the Observer now coming in here. And it looks like Maru is actually prepared for the Observer to come in. Now, really good players will know the exact second on every map that the Observer should get there if they're doing a Protoss doing a standard build, which is what Rain's doing here. So we'll see if he sees a little blur here. Will he scan? Looks like he's actually ready.
yeah, he was looking for that, and Rain sees it and does turn around. That's really good. If you lose that first Observer,
It's one of the worst things that can happen early game for Protoss, actually.
it truly is. Aside from like losing a bunch of your stuff, it's the single. It's the
Besides,
single
like
thing
losing
you-
your Nexus, yeah, it's one of the things.
It's like
It's actually really bad.
well, I don't even know what I'd rather lose early on, the Mothership Core or the first Observer. You know, the first Observer is so
I
important.
think the first Observer is probably the worst thing to lose. And again, guys, that's because so many important things come out of the robotics facility. You know, Colossi, Immortals, Warp Prisms, and of course Observers too, that when you have to make another one, that means you're not making one of those other 3 important units.
And the travel time as well. You know, you may
Yeah.
miss. The first Observer gets in there quick enough that you should be able to see any sort of craziness, any shenanigans going on,
Yeah.
and be able to stop it.
All right, so he's getting up to 6 gateways now total. And it looks like he
Wow.
might just do a timing here. We'll see.
We will. Well, he is grabbing Blink as well, so it does, once again, kind of just look like he's going for the macro Blink Colossus play. And I tell you, some Protosses are getting so good at this play. It's rather scary to watch.
It really is. So, also important to note, look at not just the fact that he got the Observer out and kept it alive, how many Observers are actually on the map? Looks like there's 2 now, and he's got them very well placed here.
Yeah.
We've seen a lot of Protoss players just go with 1. See, there's 1 Observer now. I believe the other one, where is
The other one is floating in this space
At
to
the
the left
bottom?
of his.
Oh,
his
I'm sorry.
main.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are some great places. He has a pylon above his natural as well, and he's already made a defensive cannon sitting on 2 bases while getting Blink and going Colossus with 1
Now-
forge. Like, this is the safest thing you could ever see.
And with this factory out here, what this does, it messes up the AI of the Stalkers because as they move into attack, they're going to end up hitting the factory if it's on their attack move. And that's why we see a lot of Terran players bring the factory out here because, first of all, they're not making anything out of the factory at this point in time in the game. So they might as well use it to scout, to spot, anything.
Yeah. You know what? This is about as standard a game as you could ever find. Like, Maru has done nothing really cheeky, and he's getting his 3rd base actually with a not very greedy timing either. You know,
Yeah.
he's just playing a solid game, but that's what Rain is doing as well. And he's playing his solid game just as safe as can be. So his 3rd base will be slower, but you can't really kill Rain in this game.
Right. Now the Army's coming out here, a nice scan. And that's going to make those Stalkers regroup with the rest of that Army. Now, I would, if I were giving Maru advice, I'd say don't attack into this. I think Rain on 2 bases is going to be a little bit too strong and too good at defending. But you never know. You know, Maru is one of these guys who, when he engages, plays very, very well.
That is so true, Tasteless.
Looks like we got a drop coming up here. A big drop, in fact.
That is rather big, and he just skirted the Observer. Oh my God! But look at this. Rain
Looks like he's
feels it.
prepared.
Yeah.
Now the question is, will Maru go for it anyways? He's very good at unit control.
That one might be a, a death sentence if he went for
I think
that.
so, yeah.
But look at this play by Rain. Like, I know that I've said several times it's safe, but notice he's even getting the 4th Colossus while going Blink Stalker while transitioning to Storm. And that's the one time where a lot of people die to SCV pulls, is when they sometimes don't get enough Colossus, you know, and he's non-stop on him. It's beautiful play.
We have the hallucinated Phoenixes now being used to just scout around here. He wants to get a good sense of what the timing is for each expansion. Now, Maru has a little bit of an econ lead here. In fact, a little bit of a supply lead here as well at 170 to Rain's 146.
Yeah, and that's once again Rain taking kind of the bad end of things to make sure that he's not going to die. And you know, this is one of the least action-filled games that I've ever seen from Maru, but he's right to play this way because Rain has not given him any opportunity to do any sort of damage.
Did Zell just die there?
Yeah. Well, he's covered
It's
in rocks.
dangerous stuff, man.
Should award his
This is why
hard hat.
people need to respect lumberjacks. It's the same kind of dangerous job, you know?
When they're cutting down those rock trees.
You know, well, yeah. You know, actually, lumberjack is supposed to be like one of the most dangerous jobs in the whole world.
Oh, I believe that.
Yeah.
For sure. Those trees are huge, and you're like playing with chainsaws all day long,
Yeah.
and you're in the woods. What if some sort of fern gully type situation happens with the bears?
Well, then you cut a tree down on top of them. I don't know.
Bears charging at you, take out your chainsaw.
I'm like, hold
go
on,
after a
guys, I
tree.
got this.
Comes up
Like,
and
shouldn't you
mauls
just fight
you.
him with the chainsaw? I'm like, shut up, can't hear you. Chainsaw's too loud. So we got cannons being set up here now at the third base. And Morrow has been outside of Rain's base for a while now. I think he's kind of waiting to see if Rain's going to move out, and then Morrow can try to engage, surround. But so far, nothing here from Rain. Rain is turtling hardcore.
Certainly is. He has a lot of Size Storm and a lot of Claw Size. So, ooh, nice try there. Gets a little bit of damage down. Just starting to weaken everything.
I love this shot. Look at this shot.
Another good Storm, too. But look at that little Templar flank.
Yeah.
And look at the minimap right now with how much red there is around. Like, Rain is really, he's got so much scouted, especially on the right side of the map, and even going for his Warp Prism harassment now.
Yeah, and this is exactly what he needs to do because if Terran's army is outside the Protoss' base, this is when you want to start warping units in there. And that's going to force Morrow to turn around, but he scans and he sees this army. He opts to continue to run away from it. And we don't have any ghosts out yet, do we? We do not.
No, we don't. I don't think we have. Yeah, it's not even one ghost so far. But he does have 10 Vikings, 7 medevacs, so still pretty solid. Rain is moving forward, though. And,
All right, he's going to stem this now.
and he's trying to get those high Templars. Not going to work. Beautiful control by Rain. Oh, my God. Nice force fields and awesome storms.
Unbelievable right here. But again, it looks like Rain's going to have to back up a little bit. Doesn't want to lose to these Templars here.
He still has 5 Colossus here, Tasteless. That was so efficient.
Well, those
for
Vikings
Rain.
got badly bruised, right?
Yeah, and look at this.
Oh, nice. And now he's warping Zealots in over here inside of the main here. And that will surely allow Rain to now engage again here at the front if he feels necessary.
You know, he's keeping Morrow off of a 4th base, and he's taking his own 4th base. So even though his natural expansion and his 3rd were a bit slower, oh, that would have been huge if he got that, but even though those were a bit slower, he's faster on that 4th and continuing to put on the pressure and harassment.
All right, and engaging over here at the front. Now, here's the fundamental problem that Terran's going to end up facing right now is that Protoss is taking a 4th base, and now with map control going to Rain, how on earth is Morrow going to get a 4th base of his own? He might have been better off actually hiding an expansion,
maybe.
The bottom left or something here.
Well, he is continuing warping a lot of Zealots. These hurt Marauders aren't going to do anything here, and Rain knows that, so he knows a big chunk of the army is going to have to go back in, and he pushes back forward because of it.
Nice job here. Takes out the sensor tower. Rain in perfect control so far this game.
Yeah, Rain actually playing basically a perfect game so far.
Yeah, this is basically a perfect
overall.
game.
This is...
We don't
this
hardly
is,
ever say that, by the way, guys. Like,
this is actually, if you are a Protoss player and you want to get really good, practice exactly this game from Rain.
yeah.
This is exactly how PvT should be played at this moment.
All right, nice storms here. And I got to say, I don't know if Morrow can actually wiggle his way out of this right now.
Well, there's 6 Colossus. I think it's almost impossible
Yeah, I
here.
think there's just too much here. The Stalker's now coming up, taking out 1 Colossi, but it may be too late. By the time they've cleaned up all these Colossi, the rest of the ground army may very well be all gone.
And it looks like Maru just barely going to hold for now, but more Size Storms coming up. Still 3 Colossi left over. Looks like only 2 now. And not a lot of ground units, but
wow.
that is it.
Whoa.